What's up, Anthony? Just wondered what you thought might translate over from the matchup that you just had. You obviously had quite a strong individual game against Phoenix, and now you got LeBron back. Just wondered what that film showed you about the way that this team matches up for you and how that affects the scouting report overall.
We got two guys who, um, the head of snake. You got Book and CP. And those two guys run their team offensively, and they make sure that these guys play right. You got a scoring machine with Book and a guy who has a very very high IQ and can run a team. Chris Paul, great coach and coaching staff. They got a lot of players around them that make their team a great team. So, what we did in game 3, our last game against them, we just came out the gates, defending and rebounding and running, playing our style of basketball. And, if we able to do that and hold, their free throw attempts, they're the best mid-range shooting team, the best shooting team, but also the best mid-range shooting team and, 3-point shooting team. So, and free throw shooting team. So we got to be able to, limit those free throw attempts, those mid-range attempts, and if they are mid-range, make it contested. But if we do all those things, then we should be able to grab game 1.
How good?
AD, it seemed like the team agreed after last game that you guys didn't bring the urgency you needed right away to compete with the Warriors in that first half. What did you take away from watching the film of that game over? And when you think about this series, what would you like to do better in game 1?
Exactly what you said. Just come out with more urgency on both ends of the floor. We missed a ton of layups, easy shots. We didn't have that juice on the defensive end, that we need to not put ourselves in a hole to start the game. So we come out like we did against Phoenix the last time we played them, bring that type of energy, that type of juice both ends of the floor, then we should be good. But we can't allow ourselves to be in a hole like we did against Golden State in that first like 5-6 minutes, because it's tough to turn that around. We did it against Golden State, but you can't do it every time. You don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball and trying to have a perfect storm to get up out of that and then ultimately try to win a game. So we want to make it as less stressful as possible and control what we can control, and that's coming out with a lot of energy and effort.
Bill Orr?
AD, obviously we all know that, LeBron and Chris know each other very, very well, but first time they will have faced off in a playoff series. What has it been like to listen to LeBron, or I guess let me ask it this way. What kind of insight does LeBron bring into a matchup with Chris?
We haven't said anything yet. Just saying that we got to keep him, doing his weaknesses. That's really it. I think that's more so a question for him, knowing him for a long time, one of his closest friends. But I'm pretty sure, before the game, after the game go on, after the series go on, he'll definitely give us more insight on things on how to contain Chris, and then just contain their whole team, because he gets in a different type of mode when it comes playoff time. So they're trying to help us out, and knowing that if we can potentially take Chris out of the series, it'd be a little bit easier series for us. When you take out the head of the snake for them who control their team and get guys in the right place and also make big time shots. So if we're able to limit him and put a lot of pressure on other guys, then it definitely can help us out this series.
Dave?
What's up, Matt Gaskar? I read about your Kentucky days today. You were the 8th seed in 2015 and the 6th seed in 2018. Those experiences, starting off playoff series on the road, being the underdog in terms of the seed, how does that enter into your mindset for this series?
you got to steal game one. You got to steal home court advantage. Wasn't able to do it in either of those times I went to playoffs, but I think if you on the road, it puts a lot more pressure on the higher seed. On a team who has home court advantage, and if you're able to steal that, then it's a better sign for you, and you just got to take care of business at home. So, our mindset is to take game one and take that home court advantage, and it can benefit us in the end.
AD, I was just wondering, how close or how far away are you guys from being cohesive?
I think we're pretty close. I mean, every day we're talking things out. We're watching the film together. We're learning each other on the floor. It's going to take time because we haven't had that much game time together. Coaches gave us a stat that they're starting five with Phoenix is starting five. It's the number one 5-man unit statistically in the NBA. So, once we get that cohesiveness and that chemistry down packed, then I think we'll be fine. And we're finding it more and more every time we step out on the floor.
We got time for a couple more, Jovan.
Hey, AD, you mentioned the mid-range shooting with Phoenix, and they're kind of unorthodox in that you see a lot of times now guards are pulling up, taking step-back threes, but they're very mid-range heavy. What type of challenge is that defending the pick and roll when they're more so looking to get into the mid-range versus at the three-point line?
Yeah, different for our scheme because we like to allow guys to play in the mid-range, and we try to take away the paint in the threes, knowing that the league has become a three-point shooting league. So we try to take that away, but this team thrives on mid-range field goals. And so it's a little different for us, but we know we can do it. We can adjust for sure. But this team is, a great shooting team, not just from the mid-range. They can also, spray out and hit a three as well. So it puts us in a little bind, but our job is to just make them all contested and make them tough shots. And we know they're going to make shots there. They have some big-time shot makers, some big-time players. So we can't hang our heads down when they make tough shots, whether it's a 2 or a 3. What we can do is get the ball out and run right back at them, or like I say, contest all shots. And if they make it, then tap them on the ass and just get back down the floor.
Last question, Alan Sliwa.
Hey, D, just get your thoughts on this. Because you guys didn't play a ton of games together kind of towards the end of the season, guys coming off injuries and so forth, do you feel like as the postseason progresses, you guys become just a little bit more dangerous? Do you guys feel like you guys become more dangerous as each game goes on in the playoffs, just kind of gaining some more continuity?
Yeah, we're confident in our group, no matter how many games we play together. We got a lot of individual players who can hold their own and have been able to progress and learn each other from the start of the season. And, obviously as more games we play with each other, we're able to learn more about each other and get familiar with each other. But just because we haven't had many games with each other doesn't, we're not a team who's scared or not confident in ourselves. We're a confident group, no matter who's on the floor or how much time we have with each other. So, like I said, we're continuously learning each other and figuring things out on the floor, and we're going to continue to do it while getting wins.